You are a cup of green tea. That's exactly what we're going to need, friends, because we're going to have to flush and detox a bit more. We are watching the PulseChain ecosystem disintegrate into poopiness going down. And friends, once again, I'm going to make another video later on just to remind you, I don't talk about the winning coins that are going up because you can't get them anymore, man. I don't do that, friends. Not you, friends. I know a lot of people are still brainwashed from the rest of the crypto industry. They keep talking about their winners. Why? Because they want you to keep firming to top their targets. They're already on side 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. There's stuff not in buy zones. As long as stuff are in buy zones, I keep giving it more time and attention. And I let the other stuff just go. Okay, let the other stuff go, friends. I know it makes a lot of people upset. For example, you remember the eHEX capitulation spree? Yeah, it's actually still down in cheap zone. Sweet, that's what you want, friends. You can't change your life when things are already up. You can't. You've missed out. You just have to let it go. And when it comes back to the cheap prices, then you got to think about it again. Now, what's happening, friends, is there's been a big whale that absolutely destroyed prices 23% here. That just crushed everything down here. I'm not going to lie, friends. This is the weekly SuperTrend. And yeah, let's take it. This is a regular chart as well. This is critical. I mean, we're close now. We have to close like another 3.8% higher to flip it back green. So remember, the weekly SuperTrend is 3 times the average distance. If you go down a 4-hour or a 12-hour chart, it doesn't really matter. When you go to the weekly, very significant in crypto. Very, okay. Now you might think, oh, isn't the monthly better? Yeah, the monthly takes too long to pretty much do it. Pretty much the bull market and bear market are pretty much over a lot of the times by these things flipping. The weekly, super important, okay? That's why a lot of people don't look at weekly charts. The most people look at is the daily chart, but weekly 7 times longer time frame. You're literally going out further where no one else is looking. And that's why it's important, right, to just remember when Richard Hart announced he's going to fight the SEC and he bought up the coins here as well. Remember, we flipped up. See, this is really significant, friends. But look, unfortunately, we just reject this whole way if we finish it. We don't know yet. We haven't finished yet. We got to finish above 8,200 pretty much for PulseChain. And also, look, the prices are ravaged for everything else as well. So I can show you right now as well. PulseX, funnily enough, friends, is actually still green on the weekly SuperTrend. It's funny, it's still keeping it together, but like it's not anything to really brag about. It's like you're barely hanging on. Don't forget, look, man, Richard Hart buying it down here. Snap. $14 million, friends, going all the way down. 77% drop. So think about that. Richard buys, 77% drop after that. So you tell me, friends, just look at the market. Look, PulseChain, yes, we say it's cycle 1 and stuff, but unfortunately it's exhibiting, the market's treating it like a cycle 2 coin. It's treating it like it's overbloated, overvalued still. And it's going to take some time just to rinse people out. It is what it is, friends. We've got other stuff doing really well, making it exciting. I really feel sorry. What are the maxis going to say now, man? Because there's all of Richard's talking points pretty much just got absolutely decimated. Wow, friends, I'm looking at it now. Combined HEX right now is actually at a new all-time cycle low. Look at this. Combined HEX is down below 1 cent. This is below the corrupt SEC. And actually, friends, I've just made a post here right now just to interrupt. Yes, it's a new cycle low for HEX. Ouch, man. That's really bad. By the way, that is now down minus 98.26% off the top from 3 years ago, friends. So there's a lot of ramifications you have to learn from this. Like I said, man, like you participate with euphoric lottery ticket people. I don't know. Is this karma for the coffin dancing video and all these other things at the top? There's a lot of things to think about there. Also, just to let you know, this is, friends, go back, man. I copped so much heat from people. I said, bro, who the hell are you? You know nothing, okay? Richard's anti-eHEX tweets, we are down 70% from that. You're down 70% from Richard Hart's anti-eHEX. I told you guys, you reap what you sow. If you want to go out and single your child and go, you were the favorite, but no longer. Once you start blowing off your kids' heads, the market gets spooked. I mean, clearly the price action just shows that. What are you going to blame it on now, by the way? It's a cycle, friends. It's a cycle. It's just weak. But I guess it doesn't help, right? It doesn't help. It's a weak Ethereum, okay? Just to tell you, interrupt, just to tell you, friends, play some nice, gentle music. Most of this bad price action, it's to do with Ethereum's price sentiment. However, just to let you know, friends, if you want to adopt people for the future and you want to try to change the trajectory, it's quite hard when you still have this marked in history. Hey, remember when Richard Hart but people aren't going to look at this scenario with objective eyes. They're going to go, hey, man, Remember when Richard Hart sent everything down 70% for his tweet? That's what everyone's going to remember, man. No one's going to remember, oh, yeah, it was just an eHEX tweet and it was just, there's no positive that's come out of it. Nothing whatsoever. But it is what it is. The market already made up its mind. That's something you just got to wrestle. This is the pHEX to Pulse ratio they've been watching for a long time. Don't forget, we just got to remind you, I'm going to throw in, many people called for the death of Sami up here. Okay, people said it bottomed out here. Okay, they called for the death of Sami, and I just let you know, man. 8 of you pHEX maxi influencers said that you're all basically coming out for me and that this thing has bottomed out. All of you is basically 3 of those 8 called me the Jim Cramer of the call. It's still bleeding, man. It's still bleeding. Okay, so this is something that you got to be wary of because it looks even worse on the combined hex one because that includes eHEX, which has all the damage. So hopefully, of course, a recovery come here. Well, hope doesn't really do much now, does it? But look, on the bright side, though, look at eHEX, baby. Look at the eHEX pulse ratio. Let's have a look at it for the first time together. Oh, you're actually holding up nicely. Look at you. If only had a friend out here, he was reminding me that, it's very possible that the weak hands have been basically rinsed from this. Pretty much, this was the big capitulation. Friends, I literally said to you were here, I said, I feel like that the eHEX drop was it's a foreshadowing. I hope it's not, but I feel like it is because those people, it's just showing you the market. There's some schizo stuff in there. And look, if you want to learn this just for the future, friends, you just know how dangerous it is to participate in euphoria with people. So it's funny, people they'll laugh at hexagons and stuff, and people who like in the ecosystem, I'm like, dude, you are holding over-bloated and overpriced junk today that's going to get you wrecked. In the next 12 months, you're going to miss out. It's going to lead to further problems, but you don't know it yet. You are literally just the hexagons at the end of 2021, thinking that you've conquered it and we've won. You've given yourself the crown emoji. So it is what it is. I guess we'll see what happens. Now, I'm also going to show you PulseX to Pulse ratio, friends. This is important to see. As you can see, it's around this weekly. This is the 21 EMA around here. See, it's still stable, friends. That's why the PulseX to Pulse yield farm is still pretty stable. But then again, probably the pHEX ones are pretty stable here as well. It just depends on the yield. The yield does compensate. It just takes time if there's a bit of divergence loss here and there. But most people don't give a crap about divergence loss now because everyone just wants the coins to go up. So now let's have some fun, friends. So yes, one of the big whales who sold, Dick Cherry. Let's actually have some fun, friends. So this is the difference, okay? You paper hand G with Dick Cherry. I paper hand hold Dick with butt. DWB. Let's have a look at this. It's on the Rolls Royce, friends. Dick butt. How cool is this animation? Look at this. Wow. There you go. A cute dick with butt. We are not the same. That's what it comes down to, right? So, friends, trust me, there's more to come from this. I just want to remind you some foreshadowing things as well. So, it's been like 6 times now. Hex selling has front run the market. It has every single time. Or PulseChain ecosystem, okay? For like 6 times now in the past year and a half. And you're probably wondering like, why? Well, I only have one theory. And the theory is that, firstly, you're my friend. And that's fact. But also the real theory is there's no centralized exchange listings for Hex. So when, or PulseChain. So when someone skits out in Bitcoin and Ethereum, you have people who have left their bids on leverage the first time. So when they skits out, it like absorbs the first time. However, there's more skitzing to come later, so it takes longer. For PulseChain and Hex, though, when someone skits out, there's no bids. So they just sell out, and the market just goes to where it's want to go faster. So markets on all sentiments, right? When we all feel good together, so we buy stuff. We all feel bad together, so we sell stuff. That's on average the retailers, right? You got to do the opposite of that. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. Now, shout out to Mr. Davey James who even posted this. This is showing the time here. This is Ethereum starts dumping after. And this was like basically that same time where, look, Pulse had already capitulated. See what I mean? Pulse already capitulated by that point. So they're just showing you that this is an anomaly. Well, not really an anomaly. This was happening with Bitcoin and Litecoin, by the way, back in 2020. Litecoin will do things first. Litecoin was thin on less liquidity. So Litecoin would crash first or capitulate first, like days before Bitcoin would, etc. Okay, so this is like the 6th time of it doing it. We've just been making a mark of it. And again, when I remember I made my video that PulseChain was collapsing, I said, hey man, it's probably a sign that everything else could capitulate too. And that's pretty much what's been happening. So I'm going to give you just some wallet information from that big wallet. He's now fully out of the ecosystem now, okay? There's a lot to go through. So shout out to Mr. OG Faraday for doing all of this. Now, this is basically him. This is him just cheating everything. 48 billion pulse just gone. So, Dick Berry, friends, obviously not a real name, but Dick Berry sounds very, very similar. Dick Berry, so he was the number 3 largest hex lottery ticket fluke shot. He's been dumping $16 million on the ecosystem for like literally years. Full on value extractor, vulture. Yeah, look, he bet right, man. He's one of those guys who just got lucky. He just went all in on the guy with the top hat and he just dumped on everyone over and over and over again. It's very sad to see. But that's what happens when you make people rich, friends. They don't respect you too fast, do they? So I don't know, man. But Bitcoin has a different psychological makeup of holders. He's been relentlessly dumping. He just clicks out. He sells out $3 million worth. He just clicks and just exits out. And he's actually in another yield farm. So I'm going to show you that as well. He is in a degen yield farm. It's actually called degen. The coin is actually called degen. And these are all his sells, by the way, on the ecosystem. Look at this. He was selling on the open. He sold on the corrupt SEC. He sold on this rally. And now he's actually making the dump. So he's just been dumping the whole way on multiple wallets. That's pretty much what he's been doing. He's been dumping on the whole ecosystem. He's been value extracting over and over and over, remaining silent and faceless, and just pretty much just leaving. So he's basically gone now. But now the good thing is he's actually in another coin. This is his portfolio, friends. He has $9 million farming ETH plus degen. Someone calculated if he tries to get out of degen in that pool, I think it spreads at 70% down. Pretty much, there's not enough liquidity. So he's farming ETH and degen. Remember, degen is the layer 3 chain. And like I made this comment. I never wish anyone around here, but I'm just saying it'd be kind of strange if karma didn't work this time, because, you know, friends, these things, when you put a dark curse and a cloud on you to do that, like, friends, can I ask you something, right? If someone gave you $16 million, would you say nice things about them? Yes. Okay. Would you keep disrespecting them? Okay, that's just something to think about when it comes to these. Just something to think about. Is the universe going to work like that? I guess we'll see. I don't know. I have a foreshadowing. Am I going to make a video where OG Faraday says, hey, the guy who dumped $16 million of hex, he's lost now 90% of it. He just took an $11 million hit on something that's maybe. I hope it doesn't happen though, but usually these stories, they don't end. You know what I mean? Like something like that. I wonder what happens in the future. It's never, oh, that guy turned it into $300 million. It's never that. It's usually something else. And usually they usually come in the victorious moments. It's funny enough, but it is what it is. Okay, so yes. Paper hand, Jeet whale scum. And just to remind you as well, friends, like, please don't listen to people who say market cap doesn't matter. I know hexagons and everyone know you're trying to tell people, yes, market cap doesn't matter. I know you can't use it to sell stuff, but market cap does matter, man. It does matter. Market cap is the number of people in the house. If there are too many people in the house, they will all try rush out for the door. Do you understand that? Well, the door is the bids. If there's market cap is paper gains. If too many people have too much paper gains, it's just a race against time. Who's going to exit first and do that? And guess what? You see one dude sending it down 22%. So look, friends, once again, I hope they're all benevolent and stuff, but just show you, right? That was just 40 billion pulse. You know, Rectum Rochelle has like 700 billion. Okay, 700 billion. And he's earning 8% yield on the pulse per year. So he's earning 56 billion. So you got to imagine, right? By the end of the bull market, he can be dumping that 50 billion from, like, if you dump a 50 billion, friends, you're up 100x. The guy who can extract $1 billion and just send everything down. So if you send everything, remember, if you send everything up like 100x, he can dump and send it down 60% with a clip, and then 60% with a clip. That's what happened. That's the same thing, everything else. But look, you get to see it for yourself now. That's why if you're undervalued on average, you don't have people doing this. But if you're overvalued, then yeah, it is what it is. So you just get to see, like, yeah, the ecosystem thing will go up still long and strong. It's just that how cheap do you think you are? Because clearly the market's saying you're actually not that cheap. Friends, one guy, come on, man. One guy can send it down 23% still after all these years. You know what I mean? It's something you just got to account for. And how do you do that? Well, we have lottery tickets, friends. We do have lottery tickets. So just give you a quick mention. Like, you know, Richard Hart made tweets about pDAI. So shout out to everybody holding pDAI. Okay, so he's really recently made tweets about pDAI. You can check the pDAI pulse ratio even on this quote-unquote dump. Look at this. On the daily, look at this. It's still finishing green for the day. It's still finishing up 37% on the pDAI to pulse ratio. So I'm just going to go put it back for the weekly. I hope pDAI can go and rocket up here. That's crazy. Basically just ignored his dump. So what's happened is the guy's just dumped pulse and the market's trying to recover from that moment. You know, there's many other things to look at. For example, this is HOA. Okay, HOA, friends. You can go put it on a regular chart. So when it came down here, I said, hey, man, look, I like these. These are cheap. These are very, very cheap prices. I like this 70%. it does a double from here. Let's see what happens. This is going to be the pulse ratio. I've got 1,000 things ready to go through, friends. This is nice. I hope we can head up to the heavens to see where this goes into the future. That's how you guys. If you want to know, hey man, if you're saying, well, you're a bit concerned about how one guy can just cheat, and Richard Hart saying, don't worry, we can still do 100x because I can just pull the liquidity and we can do this and I can just reprice it higher. Yeah, man, you got guys like that to fight along the way the whole time. So I know everyone's talking about big momentum and stuff coming. We'll see. We're still optimistic and positive, but I am not banking everything on core coins. That's it. I'm not. I have lottery tickets. I have leverage on the ecosystem. See, friends, I've already told you, man. What if PulseChain doesn't do 100x? What if it only does from day one stack? By the way, that's like 150x from here. What if it only does 20x from day one stack? What if it only does that? Okay, and then you're not getting out. Well, maybe the altcoins on PulseChain will have done 50, 60. They've done a 2 to 3 multiplier on that. By the way, 2 to 3 multiplier is very small, but that's very possible. Okay, that means you basically played it right, just like what happened with Soylana and Bonk. What if Soylana stops from here? Right, it's done a 10x, and then Bonk did a 250x. What if it stops from here and a sideways rinse for the next 9 to 12 months? Are people ready for that? Most likely they are not. Now, friends, I was going to make a video on this, but I just didn't have time to do everything. So this is Blast, right? Recently, I made a lottery ticket on Blast. I like this. Remember, friends, Blast, everyone in the community. Just to let you know, friends, I got heard. Some people messaging me just to show you. Okay, I was asked. Okay, I heard rumors. Okay, we can't make it official. Let's just say wink, wink. So people told me that people from this community, probably the higher ups, they wanted me to shill it. Where do they want me to shill it, friends? Literally up here. I'm not joking. I promise I can go find DMs right up here. Wanted me to shill it up here. Now, I didn't know. Maybe there's going to be a payment involved. I don't know. Because maybe remember, there's B-Roots and Ian. That's how everybody in the PulseChain community knows about Blast, from B-Roots and Ian. So I was getting paid to shill it. And I'm like, look, man, I know when you're trying to make me exit liquidity. I didn't respond. I don't do that. I just look at the chart. Guess what, friends? This is the funny part, okay? After it drops, 94%, your friend Tommy starts doing research. I start doing research. I put the post chart. This is what you saw. I started making a tweet. It did 94%. I go, hey man, this thing's down more than 90%. Can someone please answer me questions? Research. Is the community still there? Tell me how it works and all this stuff. And when I've done that, some people from the community, like Ian, like their first response, God bless you, friend. It's fun. I just know that just emotional reaction stuff. People thought it's FUD, right? Because I'm like, no, bro. I buy discounts. I buy when no one wants to talk about this stuff anymore. That's when I come to go in, because I don't want to. And look, I'm looking like a genius right now, aren't I? It comes all the way down, lost 20x on the money straight away, and now it's like it's everyone sees it, man. It's like relegated to like last on this. You see that, friends? When things are really, really cheap, I tag them. I like, hey, remember, friends. You know, when Tangang had done a 10x, I'm talking about pDAI and Tropa, they're still in the buy zone. Now that pDAI is up to the top, I'm like, hey, remember Tangang went down 70%. HOA. It's the same thing with this. Blast, all right? Now, if you put Blast on the pulse ratio, it's obviously cheap. It's coming down here. Here you go. See, 90%. I like it. By the way, look, isn't that funny? It flipped green on the daily SuperTrend, okay? So if you go to 3-day, it's still got a while to go. But it's going to be a while. This thing's vertical down. Still like 1 million market cap here. Okay, so yeah, I'm in. I've got lottery tickets on it. I bought it on my public account as well. So it's still in that cheap price zone. Just to let you know, there's a tax in there. I don't think there's a buy tax, but there's a sell tax. And if you just hold the coin, you get PLS reflection. So it's just a reflection token. It's dedicated to to Elon Musk. Elon Musk's first game was called Blaster. That's what it is. And the community's still there. They're building stuff. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to show you, just leading by example here. You go, yeah, man, there are cheap stuff out here. Now, here's the thing. I don't think this thing goes and does this, all right? I don't think it does that. I'm prepared for it to do this and not be able to rally and then hopefully at the end go up. I'm prepared for that. Just like I tell you, everything I get in, I'm willing to hold for years. So there's one example of something really low that you can participate in. I'm showing you, friends, during the time of this turmoil, there are things you can come out and just participate in. And it's fantastic to see. Richard Hart also tweeted about wrapped Bitcoin, okay? If you change it to the pulse ratio, you have it here. Look, isn't it funny, man? It hit my buy zone here. I made video about it, made tweets about it, and it comes back up here. Now, I'm still holding it. I don't know how high these things go. I don't want to fade any of the PulseChain tokens. Like, I'm just scared that one of them is just going to get sent way too high. Like pDAI. You don't want to be getting out here, you know what I mean? So, or not financial advice, okay? So, where do we go from here? Well, I can't promise you anything. I'm just telling you that when it comes down to this, look, obviously, friends, yes, candles must go up, etc. But look, at the end of the day, you know the policy here, man. There's a lot of things. I know, man. I've just given you, hey, do you want to buy stuff? Hey, Blastar's worth it to me. Tangang hit 70% down. We can also even look at Dick with Butt. It's actually, wow, that's crazy. It's holding up at 2.5 million market cap, friends. There's something going on here then. That means there's something going on. It's actually pretty strong. Hey, that's pretty cool. Look at this. Look at this. That's actually a very nice rounded bottom. So there you go, man. Dick with Butt, 2.58 million. Look where Cum Rocket is still 15 million. A teddy bear flipping. Actually, it's less to do that right now. So I like that. Right? You get not financial advice. Just telling you, Dig with Butt, cute, lovable Dig with Butt, has thick liquidity. Don't just look at that one deck screen, a pool that's actually $100,000 plus sitting in there. So there's cheap opportunity out there. But look, man, like these things that we focus on them. Okay, you saw eHEX, you saw pHEX, you saw all these. I know a lot of everybody's already in with the core coins and that, but personally, just me, I know most of you're DCAing in. You guys. No one's got any money left, one. Number two, if you do have money left, it's like a couple of $100 here and there. Trust me, friends, you can do a lot of damage, a couple $100. But you just got to start getting in. You got to buy into like low altcoins now. Into stuff that's really, really cheap that you know. So you have to take this however you want. But you just think about it. You go, well, if your core coin thesis is going to play out at this point, it's pretty much your bag should be packed already. But if you want to accumulate these, I mean, you're more than happy to. You could do things like spend the yield and stuff here and there. Problem is, though, like you get to see incentive token crushed as well, just because it's leverage on the ecosystem as well. You can actually see pretty much, if you just go back to 24 hours, past 24 hours, actually, incentive tokens actually holding up pretty well now. It's pHEX that's down even harsh. That's nuts. pHEX is down the worst. What I tell you, friends, it was in the ratios. Habib, let's go back down. Look at this, the ratios, friends. I'm told you this, man. It's in the ratios. Why is pHEX weak? The ratio told you this. So just to confirm, Dick Cherry dumped Pulse only. 48 billion of Pulse. Yet pHEX is down the most. Explain that for me. It means the ratios, man. It probably means, okay, I don't know, but it just means, look, maybe it's not done forming a bottom yet for pHEX. It's also possible that the ratio wants to go back down here. It might want to do that. It might want to go down even lower. So then to do that, if Pulse price stays the same, pHEX drops another 30%. Which I hope doesn't happen. But I was hoping instead what happens is Pulse rallies 5x and then pHEX can only rally like a 4x or something, or 3.5x. That's what I was hoping would happen. But the ratio is the ratio. So you can get the ratio right. It's just hard to predict the USD prices. So there you go, friends. I'm hanging in there, of course. But look, we're doing fine. We're doing fine if you have a lot of things. Unfortunately, if you're trapped in the ecosystem, I know it's not nasty, just listen to everybody just telling you everything's good and going down. What are the dopamine dealers going to say now? You know, I mean, they all came from my neck. These all came from my neck, friends. I'm telling you. Richard Hart's anti-eHEX tweets, what do they look like to you now? Be honest. What do they look like to you now? Oh yeah, that was great. That was a good idea. But just to tell you, put that aside, narratives don't matter. It's actually more to do with Ethereum sentiment. And guess what? Market cap does matter and Ethereum sentiment does matter. So, you know what also matters? Our friendship. We're not done yet, okay? ETH BTC is not 0.061 yet. Okay? It's at 48, not 61. So we still have a long way to go. Let's see what happens from here. Like, subscribe, catch you soon.